So hello, welcome guys. Hello, thanks for joining my live. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining my live. Hi, welcome to my live and thank you for joining my live. So in this video, welcome Sammy, welcome. I want to talk about an interesting topic that affects us, especially us immigrants living in overseas, not only in the US, overseas. What are the things that affect us as immigrants? Most of the time, as an immigrant, we normally try to cope. But one thing that affects us here more, where are you from? I'm from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Yeah. One thing that affects us most in or overseas is our family back home. Yes, they affect us most. But another thing is the fact that most of the time we don't want to change, we don't want to adapt, we don't want to change. We are here, we want to live as if we are back there. We hold on so many culture. I'm not talking about the letting go of your identity, but we hold on to so much more than we are supposed to. So we adapting is difficult. We are here. That's why sometimes you will see an African that have stayed in overseas for years, and you will see little or no changes on him or her. Yeah, I'm not talking about the financial because we are coming here with the premeditation that we are coming here to make money, to empower ourselves, to grow. So when it comes to empowering ourselves, growing financially, that one is okay. But like changing those things, adapting those good things that we met here and let it go of some bad practices is so hard, and that has affected us here in US or overseas in general because we don't want to let go. That is why when even it comes to marriages, a lot of the time marriages break in overseas more often than back in Africa, because most of the time, especially when it comes to men, women too, there are some women that will not want to let go. But why do I say men? Because back there, um whatever thing that the women do actually benefited the men. So when the men will come to the overseas, they don't want to change. They don't want to change, and that's why you see marriages are breaking. It's the same, like generally, it's so hard for an African to change. I remember one time someone was telling me, like, oh, how long have you been in the States? And I stated it, and they were shocked. Guys, I'm less than 10 years in the States, but like I've been here for a while. At least they were expecting a little modification on to my accent. I'm not going to change, but I myself, I'm like, I'm not even going to try. So that's how we think. Like, there are certain things we don't even want to try. We just want to be like the same way we were back home, even though we are not still there. So these have affected us somehow, even to adapt. That's why the other thing too, most immigrants don't really mingle with the people that they meet in these different countries. They don't. And let me tell you, for you to grow in any part of the world, you have to get close to people that are born and grew up there because they know way more better than you. Yes. They know way more better than you. I know, yes, you can argue that some of them don't know, which is right, but most of them know way more better than you. So, but when we come to the overseas, instead of us stretching ourselves, we just get glued to people from our country or from the same Africa. And these people don't really know much about this part of the world. They really don't know so much. And here we are missing a lot of things that we should have learned, a lot of opportunities, but we are here in their country. And as an immigrant, personally, there are a lot of things that we just think, okay, this is not appropriate. We're not going to do this. And that tends to make us close up. I was speaking to my friend today and I was telling her, try to find a friend, where you are. She's in an organization. And she was like, oh, I'm going to find somebody from my country, you know. I'm going to find somebody from my country. And I told her, I said, okay, what if you don't find any in that group? And I even had to tell her, like, okay, in the group that I am in now, like we don't have a lot of Africans. So as much as I want to be close to Africa, but I made myself open, like my mind open to accept whatever, you know, to be like to accept anybody. But she was like, I don't know if there's somebody from my country. I'm like, in case you don't find somebody from your country, I said, so you have to make friends with other people, which is okay because you feel comfortable with people that more, that you have similar cultures and beliefs, even similar upbringings. But it's high time as Africans we start to know that we have to adapt, we have to mingle. Because honestly, we cannot be in people's country and we expect them to come close to us. We are the ones that are supposed to get close to them. And once we get close to them, we'll learn a lot from them. So these are the things that have affected us as Africans in the diaspora. We have to change our mindsets. We have to change it and we have to know that we have to adapt. Even like for instance, an African parent would don't even want his or her daughter to get close to a child that is not from Africa, which is kind of, yes, you know, that's where a lot of parents are missing it. They are missing it because you will not just think that, okay, even though I'm in the US, for example, because that's where I am. Guys, let me just do some settings here. Yeah, let me say, for instance, you will not say you are in the US and then you want your children not to make friends with children that are born here or that their family originate from here. That's crazy. You understand? So that has held us back. Yes, they have their own unique culture. And honestly, let's be real, their culture is their culture, and yours is yours. And you getting close to them doesn't mean that they're gonna let you drop your cultural beliefs or your way of life. You're not, and you getting close to them either doesn't mean you're gonna let them drop their culture or their way of life. But you have to get close to them so you can learn about the country that you are in. So you can learn, you can grow. They know much more better. I'm telling you out of experience. I've been here for a while. I learned a lot of things, like when I was like, I think 3 or 4 years ago. And I learned it from a girl that came here when she was 2 years old. And of course, not only her, but I learned most from her because we are close. And I learned from other people that are born and grew up here. I learned a lot. And when I came, just because I was not spreading my wings, I didn't know anything. I stayed in the US for over 5 years and I didn't know anything. And the things that I've known now, I'm like, I wish I should have known this. Why? Because I was just hanging out with people that are from my country who they themselves don't know much. I just close myself. I don't get close to them. And honestly, you cannot come into people's country. Yes, there are some few friendly people, and you expect them to be getting close to you. When you go to a community, hi, hello, first, you are the one that should get close to them. I'm not asking you to get close to people that act mean to you. But sometimes you cannot conclude that someone is mean without you getting close to them. Try to get close to them, and then maybe you will realize that they are nice people. So this has affected us as an African. So I'm advising anybody, whenever you're going to any country, try to get close to the people that are in that country. You getting close to them doesn't mean that you're going to abandon your culture. Doesn't mean that they're going to abandon their culture. So this has affected us. The same with the men I was just stating earlier. Men, when they came here, okay, I am in overseas. They want to, of course, that's why when it comes to growth Africa, we try really to grow because we leave our country, coming here with the mindset to grow, to make money, or whatever it is, to develop ourselves. So that one is okay. But honestly, even though that's the intention that we came here for, if we don't go through the right channel, like getting close to people that will teach us, we either struggle or we never get there. So either of the two, either we struggle to get there a lot or we will never get there. So that's why we leave our country. So if you leave your country for that reason, which I believe that's the major reason why we leave our country, why can't you not go closer to people that will help show you the channel? Go close to them and see. So, Africans, let's stop tighten up. You can have your African friend, your African community, but try to spread out. Try to spread out. Go close to people that you met in any country that you are living in. They know much more better. Go close to them. Try to learn from them. You will not imagine how much you will learn from them. And most of the time, they are so nice. They are so nice. I'm not telling you that everyone will be nice to you, but most of them are nice. But you will not know if you don't get close to them. So, guys, I'm going to end this live. For those of you that stayed for a while, thank you for staying in my life, and I hope this will help someone. See you in the next video. Bye.